Hello the internet, Scales here in Beijing. Over the last couple of weeks, a lot of my friends and people out there have been sending me requests for me to take a moment and explain what is fencing and how it works, talk about the gear and the origin of it. So let's take a moment and try to do our best at bringing you that information. So fencing as an Olympic sport was actually selected as one of the first 4 original sports to be selected in modern Olympics. The origin of the word fencing come from the middle word of English, defense, which actually I think come from like Italian and Latin for defensio. And I think if I'm correct, and according to Wikipedia, the original use of the word fencing in English was done by William Shakespeare in Merry Wives of Windsor. And I think the quote is something in the line of, "Alas, sir, I cannot fence." I can. There's 3 types of fencing. There's épée, foil, and saber. I like épée personally, but let's go over like all 3 of them so you guys have a better understanding. So in fencing, in foil, you can only like score points by touching the torso. So the torso is divided into 4 quadrants. You can only score points by touching any of those 4 areas. In épée, you can touch any part of the body. That's hands, feet, mask, anywhere on the legs, arms, doesn't matter. In saber, the other thing too is foil and épée are stabbing weapons. So you need to put the point into the body in order to make a point. Saber is a slashing and a stabbing weapon. So you can score points only by touching or slashing a part of the torso and the upper body. So that's including hands, arms, back of the helmet, front of the helmet, anywhere. And you can do a slash and a piercing. In modern Olympics and modern fencing, we have what's called fencing whites, which is composed of the mask, the jacket. Underneath the jacket you wear a plastron, which is basically a protective layer. You have a glove on your hand, the breech, socks, and fencing shoes. The weapon are attached to a cable that is running through your suit, which then goes back to a hook in the back of your jacket, which is attached to a pulley system, and that also runs a cable which run all the way to the judging apparatus. There's also a judge. The judge is outside of the piste. So the 2 fencers will be fencing on a corridor, which is called a piste. The corridor is divided into 3 sections, and there's a middle ground. The fencing match will always start in the middle of the fencing line. The judge will follow a protocol, and usually it's in French, and will say, "Monsieur, êtes-vous prêt? En garde. Allez." And basically the fencers will be facing each other. They will look at the judge to say they are ready. They will lift their sword to bow at each other, and then they will fence. If they go too far on one hand of the piece, the match will be halt, and the fencers will come back to the middle and they will resume the match. Fencing is actually done in a series of 15 points, so that's a whole match. After 5 points, the first 5 points, there will be a short break. After the first 10 points, there will be a short break. And then the first fencer to reach 15 points will win the match. And that's pretty much about it. If you have any more questions, fire me an email. It's been a while since I fenced, like a couple of years, so I might be rusty with some of my terminology and things that I've said, but I think that generally cover most of the items about fencing. And I'm pretty excited because tomorrow I'm going to go see men, team, épée, and it's also going to be the ceremony for awarding medals for that category. So I'm pretty sure I'll be able to take some pictures and I'll upload those on Flickr, Facebook, whatever other sites that I do my social media on. So if you have any questions, fire them at me and I'll talk to you later. See you later, the internet.